All right, it is 12:30, so I'll go ahead and get started. Thank you very much for being here today. My name is Brian Doolin. I'm the director at Student Support Services TRIO. We're a federally funded program that serves first-generation college students, students from low-income homes, and students with disabilities. Just want to thank all the faculty and staff and students for being here today. We have some students who can't be here, so we will be posting this to our YouTube channel as well. So I am recording it today. We decided to do more college specific programming because it's important, not just that our students graduate, but we want you to graduate with the degree that you want and then to transition into a great job. And there's few bachelor's degrees here in Idaho that offer a more direct path to the middle class than engineering. The College of Engineering has an excellent job placement rates, but it's also a really tough program. And I find that students need at least three things to be successful. First of all, you need some natural predisposition for it. Being mechanically inclined, being able to understand and apply math concepts. Doesn't mean it comes easily, but means that you could eventually with work master those materials. We also find that it requires lots of hard work. Regardless of how brilliant you are, you're going to have to work hard. And also, everyone's going to need help along the way. And so if you have some natural predispositions, you're willing to work really hard, and you're willing to access resources, we know that you can be successful. And so this hour is designed to highlight some of the great resources available and to encourage you to access those resources. So we do have a tight schedule. We're gonna turn things over. We're gonna hear from faculty and staff from the College of Engineering, go to Turing and College of Success, hear from our academic advisors, hear from Career Services, hear from at least one of our students. We'll try to wrap up around we'll wrap up around 1:20. I'll be online until about 1:30. But if you have questions, feel free to put those in the chat. Alternatively, at the end, we will have a Q&A time that you could ask your questions however you'd like. With that, I'd like to introduce our the associate the associate dean for the College of Engineering, John Crepeau.
Thank you very much, Brian. I am so happy to be here, and welcome to all of you for this opportunity to come and learn a little bit about what it takes to be successful in the College of Engineering. My name is John Crepeau. I'm the Associate Dean here in the college, and I am also a Professor of Mechanical Engineering. This is my 27th year with the University of Idaho, so we've got a fair bit of experience in our programs and some of the opportunities that we have to help students out. I was the department chair of mechanical engineering for a number of years, and so I can speak from that perspective as well. But the first thing that I'd like to discuss are some of the requirements to be successful in engineering. So first off, as Brian mentioned, it is an academically challenging program. Okay, we will just upfront say that that is the case. But we think, and we certainly hope, that all of you as students can rise up to the challenge and be successful in the College of Engineering. That is something that we would love to see. We want all of our students to be successful. One of the things that our faculty feels is very, very important, however, is to make sure that you are academically ready and that you are performing at a sufficient academic level in order to get your degree in engineering. Just so that you know, I'll just give a very quick overview. We have a number of different majors within the College of Engineering. We have biological engineering, we have chemical engineering, we have civil engineering, and we have computer science and cybersecurity. So those are 2-degree programs within the Department of Computer Science. We have electrical engineering, computer engineering, and mechanical engineering as well. And the requirements vary slightly between each one of those programs, but all of them are going to require that you have a certain minimum GPA in order to graduate. In a number of different programs, you have to have a minimum GPA in specifically the science and engineering classes. And one of the big rules that we have in our college is you cannot accumulate any more than a certain number of D's or F's. So please be very mindful of that when you're going through your studies. That if you feel you are struggling in a particular class and you need help, we have tutoring services available for you, and we'll discuss those a little bit later on today. But what we really want you to do is to just be aware of that, and that as you struggle, and we'll also let me just say this, and I can't overemphasize this more. Every student struggles at some point. Okay, even our very best students have issues. You know, personal problems come up, whatever, they struggle. So please don't feel that that you're the only one that is having problems in your class, or that you can't reach out and get help with tutoring services or advising or anything else. That is what we are here for. That's why you're paying your tuition fees, is for us to help you out. So please let us do our job. We really, really, really want to help you to be successful. Okay. So, so there's a DNF requirement that is important to discuss, and we want to make sure that you stay underneath that limit. And if you do exceed those, there are ways for you to get back, but the best way for you to avoid that is to not even see those problems at all, and to use the resources that we have here to help you out. Okay. So those are some of the requirements that we have. Speaking of what we have available to help you out here in the college, so on the first floor of the Jansen Engineering Building, we have a suite of offices called the Micron Student Services Center. That's where my office is located. And I see on our phone call, Rupal Jani is here. Paulette House, her office is here. Katie Schiffelbein, her office is here. Wanda Viez is another one of our tutors. Her offices are here. It is a one-stop shop for you to come in and get any kind of questions answered: advising, tutoring, career services, just general, what paperwork do I have to fill out? We're here to help you out with that. Okay. It's, like I said, a one-stop shop on the first floor, room 125. Right across the hall from where we are at, we have a wonderful student space called the Think Tank. And in the Think Tank, it's an opportunity for you to have a study group that you can meet together. There's a little conference room off to the side if you feel that you need a little bit more privacy to work on some of your problems. It's a place where student clubs meet as well. And in the pre-pandemic days, and we're hopeful that we'll be over that pretty soon, is that we have lots of employers that come in and talk about their jobs. And so it's a great place to meet employers. It's a great meeting space. And so we really encourage our students to use that. There's also a tutoring room there that's available. And on that wall, it's a glass wall, gives the schedule where you can get help in your calculus classes, in your physics classes, in chemistry, and some of your engineering classes. So please use those facilities. I cannot tell you how many times I've talked to students in the 14th week of the semester, and they say, I'm struggling with this particular problem. I don't know how to do it. That is the wrong time. We'll help you out, but really the best time for you to come and see us is the third week or the second week or the week that you are really having problems with a particular area. Come and reach out and visit with us, and we'll do our very best to help you. We have lots of research opportunities. We have what's called the Idaho Space Grant Consortium. It's a chance for you to do space-related research, and we have a number of clubs if you are interested in participating for those. You know, I mentioned before that when I said that students come in and they struggle with some things, so oftentimes students feel that they're alone. If you participate in a club, one of our technical societies, like the American Institute for Chemical Engineers, every major has kind of a technical club. Get involved with those. And these research clubs are also a great way for you to meet other students. And it's kind of a nice study group that comes on with that. So we have the Space Grant Consortium. We have what's called the Grand Challenges Scholars Program, where you can do some individual research. We have some paid research opportunities, what's called the Durkin Fellowships. We have a lot of student competitions. You know, in civil engineering, they build a canoe out of concrete and race it against other teams. That's a pretty cool thing. We have a snowmobile competition where kids work on snowmobiles and starts as a freshman year, and you can work up. In chemical engineering, they have cars that are generated by chemical reactions. So these just, what I really want to do is just kind of give you a broad outline of some of the wonderful things that we have. We understand completely it's a challenging major, but we have an infrastructure here to help you succeed in all those areas. Okay. I'll turn some time over to Paulette because I'm sure that you're interested in some scholarships, and she'll discuss some of the other clubs and organizations that we have in the college. So Paulette, it's all yours.
Gotta unmute myself. Can everyone hear me? Because there were a few times where it blipped out and there was silence when Dr. Crepeau was talking. So I don't know if it's my connection or not, but.
You're sounding good now, Paulette.
Okay, good. My name is Paulette House, and I'm the Director of Student Services in the College of Engineering. I've been with the university just under 10 years. I actually was a student here a long time ago in the 1900s. I was a transfer student from Michigan. And I want to tell you just a little bit about the scholarships in the College of Engineering. That's one responsibility that I have in the college, is administering those and just providing information for students that are in need of financial support. This is a really big topic. It's a little bit difficult for me to try and summarize it because sometimes I want to just share all there is to know about the scholarships. But if I had to just pull out the most important pieces, I would say that scholarships are available, and they are probably, it is a competitive process, but I would also say that the support, you can get the support that you need probably easier than what you think, but it does require that you take a few steps. And so one of the most important things that you need to do is, of course, fill out the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. That will provide access for all of the scholarships in the College of Engineering. And the engineering, among all the colleges, we do offer one of the highest amounts of scholarship dollars for students. So we have over $500,000 in scholarships. And they're available for students based on financial need, but also based on merit. So based on your GPA or test scores. Another highlight that I want you to keep in mind is, because there are so many students, and there are quite a few students that could benefit from support, it's important that you know a couple of things. You know who the contacts are for scholarships. So I'm definitely one of them. And then we have contacts in each of the departments. And also know that it's really important that you get involved in your college. And you're probably thinking, well, why should I get involved? How does that tie to scholarships? Well, if we know something about you and we can see how passionate you are and the potential that you have, or all the things that you do to give to the college, we want to support you. So we just need to know a little bit more about you, though. And so I just really encourage you to get involved with student clubs. If you have any questions about scholarships at all, this is just like very, very brief, but I encourage you to talk to me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. And when I talk about getting involved, that's a good segue to student clubs. So Dr. Crepeau did mention a couple examples of what our clubs do. Can you give me a thumbs up, like on your little reaction icon on the bottom of the screen, if you were in a club in high school? Anybody, a club in high school? Okay, Natasha, Good. So, clubs at the college level are, Madeline, awesome. They're essentially the same, but they're just on a bigger scale. And they often have more money associated with them. And that equates to more opportunities. So you can get involved with student clubs and have opportunities to travel. I know that's been a little bit impacted this past year with COVID, but that does exist. That snowmobile club that Dr. Crepeau was talking about, they actually go to Northern Michigan, travel to Northern Michigan, and compete in these competitions where they're designing snowmobiles that meet certain parameters, like that are efficient or they're not loud. So we've done really well at that competition. It also provides a networking opportunity. You engage in really meaningful activities. There's another club that I think of when I think of really meaningful stuff is the Humanitarian Club, which resides, I mean, anyone can participate in it, but a lot of civil engineers do. They have traveled to Bolivia, the country of Bolivia, and have helped communities get access to clean and safe drinking water. So some of the things that you and I like totally take for granted that we have every day access to that, you can be a part of transforming a community and giving them safe water to drink. So those are just some examples. And of course, you can also get a lot of friendships through student clubs as well. So we highly encourage you to get involved because it helps you network. It helps open doors for scholarships and financial support. And then you're also learning about yourself and what you love and what you're passionate about. Dr. Crepeau?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to transition to you. I want to make sure that I'm staying on time.
Okay. Actually, I think we're heading over to Katie to talk about the mentoring program.
Hi, everyone. I'm Katie Schiffelbein. I'm the Director for Diversity, Inclusion, and Outreach in the College of Engineering. And so I get to work with a lot of different students. I get to work with a lot of different programs. And I'm just going to add that one of the best things you can do to build a strong and supportive community on campus is to get involved in student clubs. There's scholarships, funding, professional development, leadership opportunities. Many students go to conferences, and one of those student organizations is SWE, Society for Women Engineers. And this is open to all students in the College of Engineering. And we have a program with that for mentoring. So if you join that student organization, they'll partner you with another student, a peer mentor, so that you can learn about what classes would be best to take next, or get some assistance on doing study hall or tutoring, or just some like moral support when you do go through those challenging times when all of a sudden midterms sneaks up on you and you're a little stressed out and frustrated. You can reach out to your mentor and meet up for coffee or have a virtual Zoom together and just talk through life. Sometimes it's just helpful to be heard and listened to and have someone sit by you and say, me too, I have experienced those same feelings. I've gone through those same moments. And then what I'm excited about is we're also going to be starting a new extension of this mentoring program. It's kind of a tiered approach where we will then match these peer mentor partnerships with women in industry. So you will get to be mentored by someone who has already gone through what you've gone through, maybe done grad school and is now working as an engineer. And you can pick their brain and learn from them and just see what is it like for them doing engineering type of work. So please join that program. And I believe other student organizations have mentoring type programs as well.
Thank you, Katie. And now we'll go to Bart from Tutoring and College Success.
Thank you so much. My name, as Brian said, is Bart Sonnenberg. I'm the Director of Tutoring and College Success. And I just kind of want to give a brief overview of the services that we offer. So Tutoring and College Success, in addition to the think tank is academic support that's available for you. So whether it's academic coaching, supplemental instruction, or tutoring, we're essentially here for you. And ultimately, whatever questions or help you might need, let us know, because if we don't have something created, we're going to work our best to try to figure out how we can kind of help you with our needs. So if we don't have a tutor for a specific course, cool, we might refer you over to the think tank or a different service on campus. But again, there's just a variety of different people who are on this call who are here to help you. And even if some of the people on the call can't help, we'll get you in contact with someone who can. So the one thing that I want to be able to share with you is, again, we're just going to talk a little bit about our services. And so our academic coaches are actually both in consultations right now. So they're helping other students. But ultimately, it's three different things that make up academic coaching. First of all, it can be a one-on-one student appointment. And essentially what that looks like, so say you're like, I'm really struggling with my organization. I don't even know how to prepare, how to study for this specific subject, or I'm really struggling on how I balance my job with my schoolwork. Well, this is really an opportunity where you can meet with Kelly, Ashley, or myself to go and kind of come up with a plan. Also, you may be like, I don't really know how to develop a really good schedule. Cool, we can help you with that too. So we meet with students one-on-one. Right now we're doing a lot of our appointments via Zoom. However, the opportunity does exist. If someone would like to meet in person, I'm willing to do those appointments as well. And then what we also do is we do presentations. And so for presentations, again, we will work with either a group or a couple people to kind of go over a topic if there's a group of people that are doing things along those lines. And then in addition, our third service is we offer a INTR 101 course. It's going to be opening up the last 8 weeks of the semester, but essentially it's a college success strategies. So if you're feeling like you're like, oh man, I'm really over my head, or I want to refine my skills, please feel free to sign up for this course. And Kelly and Ashley will both be facilitating the course this semester. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Dale.
All right, so my name is Dale Mommer. I'm the tutoring program coordinator. And first, before I go into this slide, I just want to say that one of the beautiful things about University of Idaho is the amount of resources that are available to all of our students, whether it is think tank, whether it's academic coaching or tutoring or SI Pass, there's a resource for everyone. And so I think we're very fortunate that we have all these resources here and that they're all free to all of our students. And our tutoring is a free service for all of our students. And my goal as a tutoring program coordinator is to create a fun and collaborative environment where all students can learn a difficult subject with a peer. So it's peer-driven, peer-led, and we just provide the tutors in a couple of places. The first would be in the library. But we do have our tutors in the library, and it's Monday through Thursday from 3 to 8. Our location is actually on the second floor of the library, and it's very easy to get to. We have an amazing team of tutors who are on staff, and this semester I've made it a point to have always 2 tutors that could cover a variety of different math subjects, 2 tutors that can cover a variety of different physics subjects, and so forth. So chemistry as well, engineering. So it's my goal is to provide a resource for all of our students in the library who do prefer that in-person experience of meeting with a tutor. However, starting in the fall of last year, we're also focusing on appointments. So if you can't make our drop-in times or would prefer to meet with a tutor just for a one-on-one online appointment, those can be requested through our TCS page, and then I will put that link into the chat so you can have that. But appointments can be requested Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And I think that's one of the strengths of our program is that our tutors are very flexible and adaptable to our students' needs. So if there's a day and time it works for you, but it's not on our drop-in schedule, we could still accommodate that by scheduling an appointment. And most of our appointments are online over Zoom, which we strongly encourage because of everything that's been going on since spring break of last year. So I highly encourage all of our students to just try online if you haven't done so before. But overall, our tutors are really well trained to provide that online experience as well, and that you get everything out of an online tutoring session that you would have an in-person session. And lastly, there's workshops, and workshops focus on exam reviews for specific assignments designated by the instructor for specific subjects. So for example, we've done a lot of chemistry workshops, like chemistry or organic chemistry in particular, and general chemistry. But there's a lot of workshops that we do focus on for a variety of different classes. And what those focus on, it is an online experience. So all of our workshops are online over Zoom. And we provide basically a support in a collaborative and fun environment. So if our students need help with, say, chemistry or other subjects related to that, we will have a workshop. And then our tutors will basically promote that to your course if there is one available. Workshops don't happen every week. They are, could be every other week. It is basically based upon assignments in that course or based upon when the exam is. And our unofficial slogan for drop-in tutoring is it's more fun than studying alone. So I do encourage you to come work with a peer, because you do get a very positive experience. And I think that's the last thing I just want to emphasize, is that our tutoring does provide a very positive and fun experience to all of our students.
Can I just interrupt? Can I just interrupt real quickly before you go to the next one? I love that last line that you had there. It's more fun studying. It's more fun than studying alone. Let me just say that any engineering project involves a team. There is not one person at Boeing that designed the whole airplane. There are teams of engineers. So this is a great way, studying together, learning how to work in a team. That is very important in engineering. So thanks, Dale, for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
Samantha.
Actually, perfect segue related to working with teams and groups. There's SI-PASS. I'm Samantha Futhi, the SI-PASS coordinator, and SI-PASS stands for Supplemental Instruction Peer Assisted Study Sessions. And so what they are these group study sessions that are scheduled outside of class time. And we are support specific courses, which you'll see listed down there. And so these study sessions are led by a trained and knowledgeable peer leader. So this is a student who has already taken the course and has done academically well in the course. And so that peer leader, our SI-PASS leader, is there to help facilitate the study session. And so what they do is they have you all go through a variety of activities to learn not only the course material, but also study skills that you can transfer and use for other courses as well. The sessions are free for you to come. They're also voluntary and anonymous. So your instructor doesn't know if you're coming to these sessions. And so you can kind of work freely with the peer leader. In terms of some other information about the program, typically students who attend SI-PASS sessions earn a half to a full letter grade higher than those who don't attend. And also, just to kind of give a little bit more information about the program, we're really about being collaborative and kind of helping you create bonds with your classmates and work together in order to do well in the course. So these are currently our spring 2020 supported courses. So some of them are going to be relevant to if you're interested in getting into engineering. So some of our math courses, our physics courses, and if you're taking any gen eds as well. Yeah, that's basically the program. We are just for around midterms, we are running a little raffle contest. So if you are enrolled in any of these courses that have SI-PASS, if you attend a session in the 2 weeks before spring break and take a quick survey, you'll be entered into a drawing for a raffle to win some prizes. So again, if you're in any of these courses, you'll be getting more information about that. Okay, and thank you.
Great. Thank you, Samantha. And now we'll go to Laura and Rupal.
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Laura Robison. I'm the Associate Director for Advising for the STEM colleges. So I get the privilege of overseeing our professional advising team, including the advisors that we have in the College of Engineering. And we are very, very lucky to have two phenomenal academic advisors, Wanda Viezda and Rupal Jani. And Wanda was not able to be here with us today. It's actually her birthday. So we'll give Wanda a shout out from afar, celebrating her birthday. But Rupal is with us this afternoon, and I want to hand the floor over to her so she can just kind of share a little bit about academic advising with you. Everything that has been mentioned so far about just the level of support for students in the College of Engineering, I want to echo that. We are a really it's a really wonderful team to work with, and we have lots of excellent opportunities for students to reach out and access the support they need for success. So Rupal, I will let you share a little bit about what advising looks like in engineering.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Rupal Jani. I am one of the 2 advisors in the College of Engineering. I'll just quickly tell you which majors Wanda and I advise for. So Wanda advises for biological engineering, electrical engineering, computer science. And I advise for mechanical engineering, civil engineering, chemical engineering, and undeclared students. And both Wanda and I work primarily with freshmen, but Wanda does work with electrical engineering students past their first year. I also wanted to remind the students who are here today that advising for fall will begin soon. So you should receive an email from your advisors if you're in the College of Engineering, instructing you to go ahead and schedule an appointment for advising. I will be sending out that email next week. So once you receive that email and you're an advisor, you can go ahead and schedule an appointment for advising. There is, as far as the majors that I advise for, there is a process of transition where freshman students start working with a professor for advising at a certain point in their educational experience. So for instance, the students in mechanical engineering, once the student has completed or is clearly going to complete Math 175 with the passing grade, that's when the Department of Mechanical Engineering would step in and assign a professor as their faculty advisor. So going forward, from that point on, the student would work with that specific professor for advising for each semester. In civil engineering, freshmen work with academic advisors, that is me, for the first semester. And then after that, they would get assigned a professor in the department for advising. And departments would typically send out, or advisors would typically let students know of this change in their advisor assignment. Having said that, this does not mean that Wanda and myself would not be available as resources for students anymore. At any point in your career at UFI, if you feel like you do not know how to connect with a specific resource or who to approach for a specific concern, you can come to us and we'd be more than happy to work with you through that problem. And I also work with undeclared students in engineering. So that's something that in the College of Engineering, you can work towards a degree in engineering without declaring a major right away. So you do have a couple of semesters to take coursework that would apply to almost all the engineering majors, like math, chemistry, and physics, while you decide on which major you really want to pursue. And the final thing that I wanted to just briefly touch upon was that academic advisors are also available to students to work with on long-term graduation planning. And there is no timeline for when you can make this appointment. You can make this appointment at any point in your semester when you feel that you have the mind space to think and plan more long-term. And we'd be happy to sit with you and discuss your academic plans and build in things that you might want to do, like studying abroad or an internship, and make sure that you're meeting your course requirements as you go while you avail of these additional experiences in your education.
Great, thank you. And now we'll go to Rachel from Career Services to talk about the co-op program and opportunities to meet employers and get access, some of the great internships. And I also invited Taz Zalif to say a few words and share his experience about how he met his, how he lined up his internship and what that led to. So Rachel.
Awesome, thanks so much. And Taz, I'll try to give you a nice clear cue, but we'll make sure you get to share as well. So let's see if I can share my screen here. Boop. I am just going to quickly run through our Office of Career Services. We actually help with quite a lot. If it's related to career at all, we probably have some really awesome resources and ways to support you. And I always encourage students like Madeline, you're on the call here. I remember you reaching out and connecting with me your freshman year, like one of the first things. And I was like, yes, I love freshmen who do that because they understand whether you're there now now or not, that career is a process and it's the development over time. And there's a lot of pieces that go into it. So I'm going to lay out some of the ways that students will commonly come in and meet with us. And if any of this appeals to you, feel free to connect with me. I am in Vandalstar, and so for any engineers, I should be right there in your success network along with your academic advisors and other faculty and support. You can schedule a time with me, but I'll also mention a couple things about the career fair next week as we go through. So, okay, first off, we can start from as early as exploring possible majors that might be a good fit for you. We have some ways that we can help you talk through and explore these different options, and see how that might connect all the way out into career pathways and what might those career pathways look like. So you don't have to have it all figured out. We always say we meet you where you're at. So you don't have to have everything lined up, all your ducks in a row. We'll just meet you right where you're at and walk with you from there. So don't feel like you have to have the answers to come in. That's part of it. Okay, and then a big component of what our office does, we do have a team of advisors like myself, but we also have some other folks in our office that are employer relations. And what they do, their full-time job, is to help connect and build relationships with employers and get those folks into spaces to connect with you. So we do that through a couple different key ways, and a lot of that is through our events that we put on and hope that you come participate in. But otherwise, we can also help you define and create custom networking strategies and plans and help you target different industries. So that's a lot of it. We do practice interviews, help you get prepared to feel more confident going into the interviewing space. This is a big one. We sometimes hear from students that our practice interviews are harder than the real deal. And I take that as a compliment because it's a safe space to be challenged and a safe place to get some good feedback. And usually you're pretty nervous, right? Like if you've not done a lot of interviewing before, it might be really nerve-wracking coming into your first practice interview, but then you're gonna see what's going well, see those areas for improvement and do better the next time. And especially if that's the real deal, you'll be feeling a lot more confident. So feel free to come work with us in preparing strategies, learning about common interview questions and how to approach those. We've got lots of great resources on our website for all of these areas as well. The job and internship search is a big area that we support students in, and it's one of my favorites because I get to ask you lots of questions about what you're interested in, what you're learning, what you're liking in your classes, what strengths do you feel like are starting to present themselves as you go along through your degree, and how might those support you out into a job search. I can point you to great resources for this. And then lots with document development. This is probably outside of kind of career and major exploration. This is our #1 area that students will often come connect with us, is building a resume for the first time, or maybe taking that resume to the next level. If you're thinking about graduate school, maybe you're building a CV or you want to go into research. So all of those areas, we talk about professionalism, how to start identifying your professional strengths. We can even, for those that start to get ready for this arena, it's usually more the seniors, but even sometimes for internships, folks decide they want to try to negotiate, and that's great. It's a good skill to be developing. So we also work with salary and benefits negotiation. I think this is probably the topic that I have grown the most through this job. And I would have said coming into this job that I did not have a lot of confidence in this area and didn't feel like I even had a lot of knowledge or experience in it. And now, about 5 years into this, I've walked with, I don't even know how many students I've walked with them through this process. We've brainstormed ahead of time. We've assessed offers. I had this idea once that I wish I could actually have the amount of money that I have worked with students over the years and helped them, like all of the increase in salaries and the bonuses that they've gotten because they knew how to confidently approach a negotiation process. I bet it would be a pretty cool number. So I'll just keep dreaming that I can someday figure that out. But it's great. And I always joke and say, if I don't help you make way more than I am, I'm not doing my job, you engineers. So I love to help in this area and help build confidence, take something that feels really foreign and kind of scary, like, and help you know how to approach it. Graduate school, I kind of hinted on this, but we do a lot. I just got the sweetest little thank you card in the mail from a student that I worked with for over 3 months. We met, I think, 9 times over the 3 months, working on different drafts of their graduate school application materials, different statements that they were developing. And they just wrote me a note to let me know that they are 4 acceptance letters and counting to PhD programs in biomedical engineering. So this is real stuff, people. It's awesome. So I love getting to be a part of the journey, not just a one-time interaction. And then, of course, nowadays, your online presence is a pretty important area. So LinkedIn, Handshake, building your online presence and knowing how to make that really effective and to work to guide those different recruiters or folks you might be interacting with towards your goals and how you are wanting to represent yourself online. So here you go. This is just a smattering of the possibilities of how I can work with you, support you, our team can. We love it. And it was mentioned earlier that one of the big ones is our events. So we actually have a virtual career fair coming up next week. And paired with that, we're going to have an engineering networking night the night before the career fair. So 2 awesome opportunities for our engineering students to engage and be brave, get out there, start practicing those networking skills. I've already met with several engineering students today during our drop-in hours and helped them think about their elevator pitch, how they're going to introduce themselves, what kind of questions to ask. So if you're thinking about going to the networking event or the fair next week and you're feeling a little unsure or you'd like some support, we have all day drop-in hours going on right now till 4:30, and we'll have them again on Monday and Tuesday from 8:30 to 4:30. So you don't have to have an appointment. You can just pop on over to the 3rd floor of the iSub and check in at the Vandal Success Center desk. We even have little goodie bags that we're giving away with some fun stuff. We have iCookies. If you've never had an iCookie, oh my gosh, they're delicious and they're worth a trek across campus in winter. So come get an iCookie and a goodie bag. And if the virtual space works better for you, we also have a virtual drop-in room that's running through the whole same time, 8:30 to 4:30. So you can connect with us in person or virtually. The virtual link is on our main career services page if you need it. Okay, I'm going to take a moment and turn it over to Taz, and then we'll jump back in on co-op, and I'll give you just a couple minutes spiel on co-op. But Taz, why don't you share about your experience of career development?
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. And just a question, you do have professional photography available for professional photos for LinkedIn, don't you, at the Career Services?
You know, we did just host a get your profile picture taken for a couple of days recently. Normally when we have our in-person career fairs, we have a photo booth set up during the entire career fair event, and students can go have their headshots. But yeah, we won't have one going during the virtual fair right now, but we can help you out with some good tips on how to get a nice headshot.
Mm-hmm. And to all the other students, I definitely give a highly recommended visit there because it's really good to have a good professional profile picture for your online profile. It's also good to have for other things. So the way I got my internship was there was some information sessions that were hosted from the College of Engineering, and I decided to go visit with some employers that looked interesting. And when I went and visited those employers, there was a few students there. They were also interested. And it ended up being that they were hosting a dinner later that night, and anyone that showed up at the info session would be referred to the dinner later. And so they offered this dinner. I ended up being the only student that showed up. And you might think, wow, no one showed up for a free dinner. But hey, there I was. And simply because I was interested in the company and got that opportunity, they were interviewing me there at the dinner table. We were there for an hour. They liked me, and we ended up setting up an internship. That's what I did this last summer. If I hadn't gotten my internship there, I had made some connections at the career fair the previous fall, and they were coming back in the spring. And I actually turned down a couple of those people for interviews because I had already accepted that internship. So going to those info sessions that are set up from your college, going to the career fair, making those connections is some of the best things you can do to get that connection with the employers. If you're interested in their company or what they do, make it clear. I mean, they want to see that enthusiasm, and when they do, that's what they're looking for. They look for the technical details after that. Once they see that you're enthusiastic, they just check off the boxes. Yep, they can do the job. So you really want to show that enthusiasm, and that'll really help you land an internship. And personally, my internship has led me directly to a career after I graduate. They offered me a job 2 months after my internship ended, and I ended up accepting it with full benefits. So, woohoo.
Great. Thanks for sharing, Taz. And we are nearly out of time, so we have 1 minute left for the 1 minute summary of the co-op program.
Thank you. Thanks, Taz. That's awesome. I love hearing those stories. So our co-op program, short for cooperative education, it's still relatively new to the college. We're about in our 3rd year now, but the idea of a co-op and what's different about a co-op from maybe an internship is that a co-op runs for about 6 months or longer of paid full-time work experience in your industry related to your major. And so this will be a full semester of time plus a summer. And we actually send out new cohorts of co-op students every 6 months. So we have some that start in the winter, right at January time. So we just sent out our recent cohort, and they're getting started. And that runs from like January all the way through the summer. That's like our winter co-op schedule. And then we have a summer co-op schedule that starts in the June timeframe and then runs through the fall semester. And so students who are interested in this really rich extended work experience, they usually make between about $18,000 to $23,000 over their 6-month time frame. That's some real money. We even set kind of what our salary expectations are for our co-op students. And we work very directly with the employer partners. So it's a lot more of a cohesive partnership program. Whereas internships are wonderful. I will support them all day, every day. But this is an opportunity to gain longer term, really deep project-based, high mentorship experience. And our co-op students, if you want to be competitive when you graduate, I'll tell you what, we have not had a co-op student yet who has struggled to get full-time employment after graduation. Most of them already have a job lined up before they graduate. So I'm going to put the link to our co-op program in the chat so you can check it out more later. And if you have any interest, students usually participate during the junior year. So maybe right at the tail end of the sophomore year, they're applying, or partway into their junior year, they might be applying for the program and then heading out to their work experience. So that's the basics of it. All majors are now connected into the program through the College of Engineering, and there are a few better ways to gain some experience while still in college. So I'm the coordinator for the program. So if you ever have more questions or just want to connect, please feel free to reach out. I'll put my direct email in the chat as well. There you go.
Well,
Co-op spiel.
Great. Well, thank you very much. I know some of you have class and lab to get to at 1:30, so we're going to do 2 quick prize drawings. The other prize drawings are actually going to happen on March 8th. We decided to give students an opportunity to watch it on our YouTube channel if they missed it today, and also to give you a chance to earn more entries. By being here tonight, you're automatically entered for that second round drawing on the 8th. Plus, if you access any of these resources we talked about today, you'll get an extra drawing. All you have to do is post to Instagram using and tagging at UIdaho Engineering, or emailing me a photo of the event you attended, and you'll get an extra drawing. And so if you go to tutoring, SIPass, the career fair, if you meet with your advisor, or if you attend an engineering club, snap a photo, send it to me, or post it to Instagram, and you'll get an entry for each one of those. Go to all 5, snap 5 photos, 5 more entries. And so to the first drawing, you have your choice. I have some U of I hoodies. They come in black or gray, size of your choice. We have a pair of thermo flasks, one for your cold beverages, one for your hot. My favorite MPOW Bluetooth headset with mic. This is great if you're in a class, you have your headset on, you need to go to your kitchen for more coffee, you don't need to drag your laptop with you. And then lastly, a couple coupons. These are good for free Chick-fil-A or Qdoba meals. These are good for any item at the Vandal Store, Starbucks. So you get a pair of each. You choose your prize. I'm going to be using a random number generator. Students, you've each been assigned a number. Andrew, you're number 1, Madeline, number 9. I'm going to that random number generator. The first number is number 9. Madeline, you win a prize. What would you like?
Can I get the black sweatshirt?
Yes, yes. I'll email you. Just reply on what size you want, and I'll have a black sweatshirt here for you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
The next winner is number 1. Andrew, you won. Which prize would you like?
I'll go ahead and get a gray sweatshirt.
Gray sweatshirt. All right. I'll email you as well. Just let me know what size you want, and we'll have that ready for you early next week. So thank you again. Remember, if you didn't win a prize today, you'll still get a chance. You're all entered for that drawing on the 9th. And if you attend any events, send me a photo, or use the posting at UIdaho Engineering. I'll put that in the chat right now. With that, are there any questions that any of you have? Or I know some of you have. Madeline, you've access services. Is there anything you'd like to share about things that have been helpful for you as you've been so successful in the program? Or any other students?
I don't have much to say, mostly because Mercedes really encourages me to talk to all of you all the time. So I'm sure some of you have seen me at some point, but I like that you guys are really incredible and helpful, and you're just a really awesome resource for students. And I wish that everyone had a Mercedes in their life to encourage them to talk to you guys. But yeah, I really appreciate all the things you guys do.
Thank you. Any questions from students or anything else you'd like to share?
I do have a question, actually.
Natasha.
Because I did ask about the SIPass sessions. We do currently have 2 Discords for the entirety of CS 121, and 90% of all of the messages that go into that Discord are, okay, I'm going to fail this class. I'm struggling. I don't have the resources. We're sharing code that doesn't work. We're trying to figure it out. There's not a lot of people who are actually understanding the professor and his teaching methods. And so there's going to be, currently from what I'm seeing, there's a larger disconnect than just not being able to do the code. We don't have necessarily the resources for a lot of these students to be able to succeed and actually learn what the professor is teaching us. So I'm wondering if there's somewhere else on campus that we can get additional support for myself and these students that are currently struggling.
Yeah, I guess I'll answer that. We do have some tutors for drop-in that can help with CS 121. So what I'm going to do, Natasha, I already have your email because you're one of my students for SSS-TRIO. I'll email you just my contact information and that link I put in for the appointments. If you want to pass that on to that class, that would be very helpful as well.
And Natasha, we could certainly get you a one-on-one tutor for that class as well.
Awesome, thank you.
And just to clarify my comment in the chat, so thank you for pointing that out. That could be something that SI Pass could support in the future, in future semesters. So I really appreciate you bringing that up. And so just to let you know that we do have a variety of ways that we choose courses for SI Pass support. So some of it includes high, drop, fail, or DF withdrawal rates. Also, again, if students perceive it as hard, as kind of hearing from your conversation, and then also faculty support. We need some faculty buy-in too, but just to kind of clarify my comment there. But again, thank you for your question.
Brian, I have a question for Dr. John, if you don't mind, really quick.
Go ahead, Mercedes.
Yeah, I just want to ask about what is the percentage of women in the mechanical engineering field or program, and if there is a support specifically for women in the mechanical engineering field, talking about faculty, staff.
I would say that in mechanical engineering, we have probably about 10% female. Might be slightly above, slightly below, but that's about where we are at. And I'm saddened to say that that's one of the lower ones of our engineering majors. We have more females in biological engineering. That tends to be the highest percentage of females that we have. In terms of the support group, we have a wonderful organization called the Society for Women Engineers. So it's not just mechanical engineers, but it's engineers, regardless of the discipline, that they are encouraged to join. And we have found that to be very successful and very helpful for women engineers to help overcome, course obstacles and some of the other things that they face.
And Katie had to jump off, but I'm meeting with Katie next week to talk about the mentoring program through Society for Women in Engineering. So I'll invite you, Mercedes, to meet with Katie as well, and we'll make sure that student gets support.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. John.
All right. We do have time for one last question if anybody has any. All right. Once again, thank you all very much for being here. Really appreciate all the attendance and participation. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Brian.
We hope that you learn. We hope that you learn to engineer like vandals.
Go Vandals.
Whoa.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Thanks, Del. How you doing, Honeyville?